Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mehak and you're tuned in to the world of Mehak. I'm back again with another tarot video for you, and can you believe that we are past one quarter of the year? I would love to know how your first quarter has gone, so please let me know about that in the comments below if you'd like to share. If, like me, things have not gone exactly according to plan, if you feel like you're lacking behind on what you wanted to achieve this year, if the whole situation of the world and current events unfolding are a bit too much for you, maybe this video can help, because we'll be tuning into the cards and trying to find some messages of comfort and inspiration that can give us that needed boost to move forward into the second quarter of the year, to start a new month on a fresh note, and just to get that spark of energy that's needed to unlock our creativity and do what matters to us. So if that interests you, I'll be using my Light Seers Tarot as usual, and we'll be pulling some cards to see what kind of messages come through and what we can make of that to just chart forward with life, I guess. Before we move on, let's connect a bit and I'll share a personal story with you. I recently came back from a 2-week trip to Sri Lanka. I traveled solo internationally after a long 2 years, and it was a much awaited adventure. I have a bit of content planned around that, which I will hopefully get to in the coming weeks, and I'm excited to share that here. So if you're interested, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of those videos that I'm hoping to get to you very soon. Fingers crossed. By the way, sorry about this lighting situation. I know it's not the best, but I'm doing what I can and just bear with me. So I've got my tarot cards here, and let's see how we can get creative again, get back our mojo, and make the most of April and the second quarter. By the way, today is also a new moon, which adds that extra energy of newness to this day. Along with being a new month, it's also a new moon, which is a great time to kind of focus on new beginnings or new projects you want to start. So let's see what kind of inspiration we can get from the cards for that. The first card is the Page of Pentacles, and you can see it there. And the Pentacles is a group of cards that relates to the material world around us. So it basically symbolizes wealth and earthly possessions. So the Page of Pentacles is a really beautiful card because it's all about new opportunities and creating a new opportunity for ourselves, no matter what the situation around us may be. It's really easy most of the time to focus on whatever we think that we are lacking in our lives, and like whether that's our dream job, or whether it's lack of enough money, or just fancy things that we want but we can't really afford them, or we think that we're not deserving of them yet. And one of the most basic life lessons that every single one of us needs to learn is to kind of shift that mindset away from one of lack to one of abundance. I think that once we adopt that perspective of always looking at what we're lacking, we're never going to be satisfied, no matter how many things we acquire or how many things go right for us. Because as soon as one milestone is achieved, or we get that one particular thing we desired, it's straight on to the next one. Sometimes we totally forget to even appreciate how far we've come or what we already have. And yeah, I don't think that's like a good place to be in. So the Page of Pentacles, I think, is telling us that wealth and abundance is all around us, but it might not be in the way that we would like it to be always. So it's a good time to take stock of all the things that you do have, which at one point were just dreams or goals or ambitions, or were just things on a list that you wanted for yourself, right? It also represents people who can bring opportunities to us. So I think it's a great time to network with others and to really value those that we have in our life, because you never know who is going to bring some wonderful news to you. Also, as you can see in the imagery on this card, it's some very playful and celebratory energy. So I think this is encouraging you to tap into the younger version of yourself that's within you, and that kind of knew how to let loose and have fun and not be so focused on the next big thing all the time. I think as we get older, we are like always encouraged to leave behind like the playfulness and the childishness that's naturally a part of all of us. But when you embrace that bit of yourself, it's a way of cultivating more creative opportunities in your life. So when we're younger, we tend to carve out time to devote to our hobbies or creative pursuits or just trying new things that are fun. But as we get more enmeshed in work and responsibilities, that becomes a little bit more difficult, and we tend to push away such pursuits as like a waste of time. But I think valuing those little things that bring you joy is in itself a way of cultivating so much more abundance in your life. After all, time is the most limited resource, and once it's gone, you never get it back. So use it wisely, and from there, I'm sure the best of opportunities will find their way to you. Let's go for a second card to add to that message. Just shuffling. Okay, this card has been following me around. It's been coming up over and over again every time I play around with the cards, and it is the Six of Swords. The swords are symbolic of the mind and thought processes, and the Six of Swords, as the image depicts, represents moving away on a new journey, away from the thought processes that were holding you back. Now, I know that sounds a lot easier said than done, but I think we are all constantly on this journey of evolving and going towards what we want next. So I think this card is reminding all of us that we are always the captain of our own ships, and we should never forget that. Like, a lot of times it can be so easy to go through life on autopilot, but don't forget that the reins are always in your hand, and you can direct your ship wherever you want to take it. You might have heard this before, that when a ship changes its course by even a slight degree, it can end up in a completely different destination than earlier. So I think it's a great time to ask yourself, are you headed in the right direction? Are you happy with where you see yourself going? And if you're not, then think about what changes you can make and how you can best implement them in your life. As we've ended another quarter, it reminds you that time is flowing and this year is finite, your life is finite, our time on this earth is finite, and if there's some things that you want to do, the time is now. Don't put it off. Don't wait for when you're older or when you're less busy. You need to make time now for what matters to you. And no dream is too big or too small for you to pursue. So I think you just need to remind yourself of that and give in and take charge of your own journey towards wherever it is you see yourself headed. One thing I love doing is creating vision boards, and I think everyone should do that. What that involves is just creating a pictorial representation of what you'd like to manifest in your life, or where you'd like to see yourself. So for instance, if there's some places you want to travel to, or if you see yourself in a particular kind of job or in a relationship with a specific type of person, then you can collect some images, put them together into a pictorial format, and really imagine yourself living that life. Because when you attach a vision to what's initially just in your mind, it can be a really powerful tool to keep you motivated and to keep you on course. So if you haven't created a vision board before, I highly recommend it. You can go ahead and do that. And if you'd like some help, just leave me a comment below and I'll be happy to give you my insights on that. You can also do a simple Google search, and like you will find tons of resources about vision boarding and how to do it and what it is and how it works, because trust me, it does work. Finally, I think this card is also telling us to just trust in the journey. It's okay to feel lost and to feel confused. If you imagine yourself on a boat in the middle of the ocean, like, it can be so easy to not know where you're going, because everywhere you look is just going to be water. But as long as you're in command, you can trust that you're going to end up exactly where you need to be. Of course, it can never all be smooth sailing. There might be a few storms to weather, there might be choppy waters, but you've got to surrender to your own capabilities and really believe that you're capable of steering yourself to where you want to be. So I think those two cards have given us a lot to think about and a lot of motivation to move forward into this new month and this new quarter. I am hoping you have a great April and don't let the world get you down. Keep smiling and take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye.